Physics Wallah recently raised $210 million at a valuation of $2.8 billion, the largest edtech funding in almost 2 years. While edtech giants like Unacademy, who used to be the leaders, are struggling, Physics Wallah is doing surprisingly well for some unexplained reason. Last year, it ranked 4th in the edtech space with a revenue of 798 crores. But in just 12 months, it leaped to the second spot. Its revenue increased by 2.5 times to 2,000 crores. And this was in a period when most competitors had no revenue growth, while Unacademy actually saw a decline. But what makes this feat even more interesting is the comparison of their funding. Byju's raised nearly $5 billion before it went bankrupt, while Unacademy has raised $880 million across 12 funding rounds. But the recent $210 million raise is Physics Wallah's second round. Their first round was in 2022 when they raised $100 million and became a unicorn. And before that, they operated as a bootstrapped startup. And they claim that 60% of the original $100 million raised in 2022 is still untouched in their bank account. And the founders Alak Pandey and Prateek Maheshwari still hold a combined 80% stake in the company, while most other unicorns usually see founders holding only 40 to 50%. Even in the latest funding round, investors came to them instead of them actively looking for investors. And if you look at their balance sheet, you will understand why. After launching in 2020, Physics Wallah's revenue skyrocketed from 24 crores in FY 2021 to over 800 crores in FY 2023 in just 2 years. In 2022, they did 233 crores in revenue and made a profit of 98 crores. That is a profit margin of 42%. In 2023, their revenue more than tripled to 804 crores, but surprisingly, their profit fell by 90% to just 8.9 crores. And all of this has been achieved while offering courses at 1/10 the price of its competitors. As of today, they have over 4.6 crore subscribers on YouTube and 5.5 lakh paying students. Let those numbers sink in. So how is Physics Wallah managing to grow and stay profitable while all others are doing crores in losses? How do they offer courses at 1/10 the price of their competitors and still make money? And now that they have raised more funds, can they match investors' expectations while maintaining profitability? Let's start by seeing how Physics Wallah came to where it is today. It all started with Alak Pandey, an engineering dropout who worked as a teacher at an offline coaching institute. Then in 2016, he decided to launch a YouTube channel to teach physics to JEE students. He got just about 10,000 subscribers in the first year, but then his channel started growing exponentially. Students were drawn to his unique style that mixed humor with simplified concepts. And by the time the pandemic struck in 2020, Physics Wallah had grown into the largest IIT JEE channel on YouTube. But Alak Pandey was a Steve Wozniak. He was a master teacher who was passionate about what he did, but he had no direction on how to turn it into a business. And in 2020, he met his chief Jobs, Prateek Maheshwari, an entrepreneur who already had some experience in food tech. Maheshwari saw an opportunity to transform the YouTube channel into a full-fledged business. So he joined Physics Wallah as a co-founder, and together, Alak and Maheshwari launched the mobile app in May 2020. And the response was crazy. The demand was so high that the app crashed on the first day of its launch. It got 3 lakh downloads in just 7 days without any advertising. Sounds like a unique and amazing story, right? But what you might find surprising is that many other edtech players had a very similar story. Byju Ravindran also started as a teacher for CAT exams before launching his app. And Roman Sani did the same thing for the UPSC exams with Unacademy. So why is Physics Wallah thriving while others are struggling or going bankrupt? See, all of them did launch their own apps and platforms, but there were some fundamental differences. And one of the biggest differences was the pricing. If you check the price of an online course for the JEE 2026 exam, Unacademy offers a 22-month subscription for 50,000 rupees, while Vedantu offers the course for a one-time payment of 77,500. But Physics Wallah offers the same course for just 9,000 rupees, a fraction of others. Now the battleground for these edtech companies has also expanded to the offline sector, but even here, Physics Wallah is considerably cheaper. Unacademy offers a 1-year offline course for 2.2 lakh rupees, while Vedantu offers it for 2.1 lakh. But Physics Wallah is offering it for just 91,000 rupees. It's still a significant amount, but still 60% cheaper than its competitors. But what you will find even more interesting is that Physics Wallah does something that no other edtech company dares to do. While they offer online and offline courses to those who want them, they already upload all the core lectures online on their YouTube channel for free. You literally don't have to pay a single rupee to access their core content. So their business model model is upload everything for free and then watch the market burn. PhysicsWallah has single-handedly pressured Unacademy and Vedantu to launch cheaper courses, further deepening their losses. Now you might be wondering, how does PhysicsWallah offer such low prices while others are unprofitable even with prices 10 times higher? Well, to find out the answer, let's look at the unit economics of the edtech sector. Every edtech company has two main expenses: marketing and sales for customer acquisition, and the cost of paying salaries for teachers and rent for offline centers. So first, let's look at the marketing strategy of PhysicsWallah, which is fundamentally different than others like Byju's. Companies like Unacademy or Byju's typically acquired customers by flooding social media with ads, and for this they spent millions on advertising. But the journey of a PhysicsWallah customer is fundamentally different. It's built on the foundation of a strong YouTube presence. Recall that by 2020, PhysicsWallah was already the biggest platform for JEE learning on YouTube. YouTube is the largest video search engine on the planet, and naturally, new students go there first to find help with their studies. So when a student searches for a science topic on YouTube, he often comes across top-ranked videos from PhysicsWallah. He watches these high-ranking videos for free, developing a habit of studying with PhysicsWallah. And over time, with very little effort, he eventually becomes a paying customer, either online or offline. Ads are not a major part of the process. A major reason for Byju's bankruptcy was their aggressive spending on marketing and sales. They hired celebrities like Shah Rukh Khan and Messi, spending 4,100 crores on marketing in 2022, almost 82% of their revenue of rupees 5,000 crores. Unacademy also spent 550 crores on ads in 2022, which was 61% of their revenue of 900 crores. But in a sharp contrast, PhysicsWallah did 233 crores in revenue that same year, but spent just 11 crores in ads and marketing, less than 5% of their revenue, because almost all of the users converted through Alak Pandey's YouTube channel and word of mouth. So he barely had to spend anything on marketing, and he could offer courses at a much cheaper price. And this had another unexpected benefit for Alak Pandey that is playing a big role in his success. By sharing all his content for free on YouTube, Alak Pandey has built a massive organic following, with students calling him a brother and tying rakhis on his wrist. And the way that he reciprocates has further boosted his cult-like following. Earlier this year, he waived the fees of 51,000 students in his paid batches worth 17 crore rupees. And he did this because he wanted to support children from economically weaker sections of society. He also visited a village student who cleared IIT with his lessons and shared a meal with his entire family. The result is an extremely loyal army of students. There are fan pages and channels dedicated to Pandey with millions of views and likes. And all this means that PhysicsWallah acquires customers virtually for free, while companies like Byju's or Unacademy aim to be revenue-generating businesses that educate children as a byproduct. PhysicsWallah's primary goal is educating students, with revenue generation being a byproduct. They don't even have a sales team. And there was another thing that stood out while I was doing the research for this video. While companies like Unacademy are always talking about growth and profitability, Alak Pandey and Prateek Maheshwari constantly emphasize that those are not their key metrics. Instead, they keep mentioning something called the Net Promoter Score, or NPS. NPS measures customer loyalty and satisfaction. Basically, how likely someone will recommend a company to a friend. And that is how they have managed to keep the first major expense of advertising relatively low. But when it comes to the second major expense, they have come up with an even more interesting innovation. You see, these online platforms quickly realized that even after COVID, offline education remained king. And to stay competitive, they needed to open offline centers as well. But this created a big problem. What makes edtech lucrative is that a single lesson from one teacher can reach 100 students or 10,000 students without any extra cost. But offline, a classroom can only hold 100 students. To go from 100 to 10,000 students, you will need 100x more money for rent and teachers' salaries. And then they face competition from established players like Alan, who already have decades of experience and strong brand recognition. The result was that expanding offline became a major reason for Byju's financial troubles, and Unacademy is also feeling the heat. However, PhysicsWallah discovered an innovative solution to this problem. In 2022, all companies aggressively launched offline centers, starting with the capital of JEE coaching, which was Kota. And all of them faced heavy losses, including PhysicsWallah. Their USP was their low prices, but to attract top teachers in Kota, they had to pay well, at which point their low-cost model fell apart. But while Unacademy and Byju's continued fighting each other out in the top city hubs like Kota, PhysicsWallah quickly learned their lesson and changed their approach. Pandey and Maheshwari realized that all their competitors were focusing on the top 20% of India, students who could afford to go to fancy coaching classes. And they saw that the remaining 80% were equally talented but lacked access to the right resources. And this insight became the key differentiator that is responsible for all the success PhysicsWallah has achieved so far. It led them to create a business model that targeted the bottom 80% of the pyramid, students who could not pay high fees, including those from tier 3 and tier 4 cities. So for their offline strategy, they set up two types of centers. In tier 1 and tier 2 cities, they established large centers called Vidyapeeths, and in tier 3 and tier 4 areas, they opened smaller centers called Pathshalas. Vidyapeeths in metro areas hire reputable teachers to deliver live classes, which are then streamed to Pathshalas equipped with smart boards, where assistant tutors provide support on the ground at a much lower cost. And in this way, they are able to offer offline classes to a much wider group of students without needing to hire more teachers. So they are essentially playing the volume game by offering affordable courses in tier 3 and 4 cities like Bareilly and Haldwani. Here, the ticket size is lower than others, but they also have almost no competition. PhysicsWallah now serves students in more than 18,800 pin codes, covering almost 98% of India. And not surprisingly, their philosophy is proving to be right. Students from tier 2, 3 and 4 areas really did need just good resources. A samosa seller from Noida recently cracked NEET with PhysicsWallah's material. And in true superhero manner, Alak Pandey then offered to pay 6 lakh rupees towards his medical college fees. Another student from a tier 3 area, Madhubani in Bihar, secured a top rank in the NEET exam through PhysicsWallah's online study material. Natwar became the first doctor from his village, and Ruby, the daughter of an auto rickshaw driver, also became a doctor. Last year, PhysicsWallah recorded over 20,000 selections for NEET, 3,500 plus selections in JEE Advanced, and 180 plus selections in UPSC, including All India Rank 1. So, PhysicsWallah uploads quality content for free. That content organically brings in paying customers without any spends on marketing. PhysicsWallah focuses on quality and affordability, getting a high net promoter score, which leads to word of mouth marketing and even more students for them. And most of this is happening in the bottom 80% of the pyramid, while competitors are fighting a bloody war in the remaining 20%. So does this mean that PhysicsWallah has succeeded and is set to become the most profitable edtech company in India? Well, not exactly. There are some striking similarities between the PhysicsWallah of today and the Byju's of 2022. So far, PhysicsWallah benefited from what is called the last mover's advantage. It learned from the mistakes of giants like Byju's, like keeping marketing spends low and avoiding offline competition in traps like Quota. But recently, PhysicsWallah has also shifted its focus to hypergrowth, likely driven by investor expectations for quick results. Their workforce has grown from 1,000 employees at the beginning of 2022 to over 9,000 as of now, and their employee-related expenses have soared by 863%, from 42 crores in FY 2022 to 406 crores in FY 2023. They have also rapidly expanded to cover 43 online exam categories, with 150 offline centers across 105 cities. And this expansion has brought significant additional costs. The result is that from making a small yet crucial profit of 9 crores last year, they are now expected to record losses for the first time ever, that too of over 100 crore rupees. And while they were cautious of Byju's missteps, which involved spending nearly $3 billion on acquisitions, that situation is also changing. PhysicsWallah has acquired more than 10 companies recently, and as we have already seen, integrating acquisitions in edtech is always challenging. The founders, however, remain optimistic. Alak Pandey says that the increase in expenses was due to their costly offline expansion, but these centers are now paying off. The online segment accounts for 95% of their student base but only 45% of their revenue. The remaining 55% comes from just 5% of students in the offline centers. 8 out of their 11 offline regions are already profitable, and he seems confident that this year will turn out to be their highest in absolute EBITDA profit ever. So I think the next 1 year is going to be extremely crucial for PhysicsWallah, and only then it will be clear if they truly emerge as the true winner in the edtech battle. Subscribe here and follow me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The link is in the description below. If you want to launch your own D2C store, check out the link to my ecom masterclass below. Until I see you in the next video, goodbye.